This is Lesson 7-6 Polynomials. We're going to write polynomials in standard form, classify polynomials, and evaluate polynomial expressions. You do not have to write this information to your paper. Just know that a monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of numbers and variables with whole number exponents. Notice in the table some examples of monomials and non-monomials. A polynomial is a monomial or a sum or difference of monomials. Polynomials that contain only one variable are usually written in standard form. You do not have to write this information on your paper. Standard form of a polynomial, we will write our terms in descending order by the exponent. It will be highest exponent to lowest exponents when we write our answers in standard form. Example number 1. We're going to write the polynomial in standard form. Write on your paper the words standard form, so when you refer back to these when you're doing your practice problems, you can remember these are the examples for standard form. Copy number 1 to your paper. We have 6x minus 7x to the 5th plus 4x squared plus 9. We're going to arrange the terms in descending order by the exponent. Descending means to go down, like if you're descending on an elevator. So we'll start with the highest exponent, x to the 5th. You will take the entire term, the negative 7x to the 5th, and write it first. So to continue working in descending order, our next term will be the positive 4x squared. Our next one will be the 6x. That has a understood 1 as the exponent on the variable x. Because the 6x is positive, we will write plus 6x. And then finally, our constant, plus 9. You could think of this as plus 9x to the 0 power. Remember, anything to the 0 power would be 1. So this is plus 9, or plus 9 times 1, which is the x to the 0 power. So this is our final answer in standard form. Negative 7x to the 5th plus 4x squared plus 6x plus 9. Notice if the term was positive or if it was negative, it remains that sign in our answer. Example number 2. Y squared plus y to the 6th minus 3y. We're going to write this answer in standard form. Start with the highest exponent so that we can arrange our terms in descending order. The highest exponent would be the y to the 6th. So our first term in our answer is y to the 6th. Next, we will use the y squared. Think about it. Is that y squared positive or negative? It is positive, so we will say plus y squared. Finally, we have a negative 3y to the 1st. If you need to, write in the understood exponent of a 1. That will be our final term in our answer. Y to the 6th plus y squared minus 3y is our answer for number 2 in standard form. Example number 3. Arrange these terms in descending order by the exponent. Notice we will start with the a to the 5th. Next, the positive 9a to the third. The third term will be negative 4a squared. Be sure to take the negative with this term because the 4a squared is negative. You need to keep it negative in your answer. Finally, we will add a positive 16. Again, remember, you could think of this as a to the 0. 16 times a to the 0 would just equal 16. Example number 4. 18s to the 5th minus 3s to the 8th plus 14s. We're going to arrange these terms in descending order by the exponent to write that in standard form. Here we will begin with the negative 3s to the 8th. After this term, we'll have a positive 18s to the 5th. So that will be plus 18s to the 5th. Finally, we have our positive 4s to the first. Remember, write in the exponent of a 1 if you need. So this will be our final answer. That concludes writing polynomials in standard form. We will now classify polynomials. Some polynomials have special names based on the number of terms they have. You will need to copy this information to your paper. If it has one term, the name is a monomial. 2 terms is a binomial. 3 terms, trinomial. And 4 or more terms is a polynomial. Just like we all are human beings, all polynomials have the name polynomial. But us human beings have special names like Jordan, Amber, maybe even Ashley, or Jacob. Those special names of polynomials are monomials, binomials, and trinomials. But all of them will be called a polynomial. Example number 5. Write on your paper classifying. So when you look back at your notes, you can remember this is where we classified the polynomials. We're going to classify each polynomial according to the number of terms. A term is separated with a plus or a minus sign. So here, for example number 5, we have 5n to the third plus 4n. We have 5n to the third plus 4n. That gives us 2 terms. So this would be a binomial. Example number 6. We have 4y to the 6th minus 5y to the third plus 2y minus 9. Again, remember, each term is separated between the plus and minus sign. So count the terms. Do not count your plus or minus signs. Only count the terms. So here we have 4 terms. There is no special name for this. We just call this a polynomial. Example number 7. Negative 2x. Here we only have one term, so it would be called a monomial. Example number 8. Count the terms that we have. Remember, they are separated between plus and minus signs. Here we have 4 terms, so this would be a polynomial. There's no special name for 4 or more terms. Example number 9. Here we only have the one term, which is a 6. So one term, we call this a monomial. Also remember, this monomial is a polynomial. It just has the special name of a monomial because it's got one term. Example number 10. Count the terms. Here we have 3 terms, so this is called a trinomial. That concludes us classifying polynomials. We'll continue to our last part, which is evaluating polynomial expressions. Example number 11. You should have received a handout sheet in class with these problems already typed out for you. If you do not have that handout sheet, pause the video and copy this to your notebook paper. We will use the ACE format to answer. Number 11. We have a tourist accidentally drops her lip balm off the Golden Gate Bridge. The bridge is 220 feet from the water of the bay. The height of the lip balm is given by the polynomial h equals negative 16t squared plus 220, where t is the time in seconds and h is height. Determine how far above the water the lip balm will be after 3 seconds. First, circle what you're asked to find. We're going to rewrite this as an answer sentence where we'll come back and fill in the blank. So the lip balm will be blank above the water after 3 seconds. Now, underline the important information. We're given that the bridge is 220 feet. The equation h equals negative 16t squared plus 220. And t is the time in seconds and h is the height. Copy this important information to the cite portion of your answer. We will now calculate and explain our answer. Start with the equation given. We will substitute 3 into the equation for the variable t. Evaluate the expression using order of operation, doing exponents first, then multiply, and finally add to get our answer. Write an explanation of what we have done. We substituted 3 into the expression for t. Solve using order of operations. The answer is height in feet. Remember to go back and fill in your answer in the answer blank. So we'll write that the lip balm will be 76 feet above the water after 3 seconds. Example number 12. Flip to the back side of your handout sheet you were given in class. Again, if you do not have this handout sheet, copy the problem to your notebook paper. Pause the video at this time if you need to do so. Number 12. A firework with a 5-second fuse is launched from a platform 6 feet above the ground at a speed of 400 feet per second. Its height is given by h equals negative 16t squared plus 400t plus 6, where t is the time in seconds and h is the height. Determine how high this firework will be when it explodes. First, circle what you're asked to find. Write that as an answer in sentence form. The firework will be blank when it explodes. We will come back and fill this in with how high the firework will be. Now underline your important information. We're given that the firework has a 5-second fuse. The equation h equals negative 16t squared plus 400t plus 6. T is the time in seconds and h is the height. Write this information in the cite portion of your answer. We will now calculate and explain our answer. Begin with the equation given to you in the problem. Substitute 5 in for the t, which represented time. Evaluate this expression using order of operations. First, using exponents, then multiply, and finally add to find our answer. Write your explanation out using words. We substitute 5 into the expression for t. Solve using order of operations. The answer is height in feet. Remember to go back and answer the question in your answer blank. So our answer is the firework will be 1,606 feet high when it explodes. This concludes Lesson 7-6 Polynomials. We have written polynomials in standard form, classified polynomials, and evaluated polynomial expressions.